G'day One Watt Fly Squad, welcome back to my Thursday trip report. My name is Jaden. Right now I'm at Ho Chi Minh Domestic Airport. The terminal's just behind me. I just arrived from Hanoi on Vietnam Airlines. Right now I'm walking towards the international terminal just over there for my, again, Vietnam A350 flight to Sydney, Australia. So now without further ado, let's walk over there. From Ho Chi Minh Airport Domestic Terminal, it's a short 2 to 3 minute walk under the covered walkway to the international terminal. The signs are pretty clear, you don't need to catch a bus or train. For those dropping off their friends and family at the international terminal, this is where you say goodbye. From here you'll need a valid boarding pass or e-ticket to proceed. The international terminal is currently hustling and bustling. Within the next few hours you've got several Australian flights, including our Vietnam Airlines flight to Sydney and another flight to Melbourne. Here's the international check-in for Vietnam Airlines. We've already done that at Hanoi and we got our boarding pass to Sydney, so we could skip through that, head straight to security and immigration. It wasn't too bad today, about 15 minutes to go through both of them. The airside of this airport isn't really that exciting. It's a bit outdated, the ceiling is really low, it reminds me of some old school shopping malls around Asia. Upstairs you'll find some dining options, and for AV geeks you've got great view over the tarmac. Do note that the airport prices in Vietnam are so inflated. A bowl of beef pho in Australia or America is probably cheaper than here. I've got Delta Airlines Gold status, which is SkyTeam Elite Plus, so that's going to grant me lounge access today at the Lotus Lounge. Vietnam Airlines has got 2 of them at the international terminal, and today we decided to check out lounge number 1. With Ho Chi Minh Airport being Vietnam Airlines hub airport, I was really surprised how tiny this lounge is, but maybe the other lounge is bigger, I don't know. The decor here is a bit outdated and simple, but I quite like it. Simple is better sometimes. You've got some plants and plenty of natural lights which can come through the windows and ceiling. For food and beverages, it's all buffet style, so you help yourself. The selection is pretty good, predominantly Vietnamese food, including sticky rice and pho. However, I found it really interesting how this lounge has fewer food options compared to the Hanoi Airport Domestic Lounge. The Lotus Lounge over there has got way more food, especially Western options, and also they've got a noodle bar there. For beverages you've got coffee, tea, soft drinks, spirits and wine, but no champagne or sparkling. One of my favourite features in any Lotus Lounge would have to be the milk tea. They've got regular black coffee and Vietnamese black coffee, and then what I would do is add some condensed milk. If you haven't tried it before, give it a go. Malaysian, Thai and Vietnamese milk teas are absolutely divine. We found some comfortable chairs and we're just going to sit over there and look over the planes. This aircraft is really interesting. It's in a white Cathay Airways livery. Registration Alpha 7 Bravo Oscar Foxtrot, a 14-year-old Boeing 777-300ER. It's a former Virgin Australia plane, and I believe they haven't changed the configuration yet. So it doesn't have key suite, rather it's reverse herringbone. And economy, it's in a very comfortable and wider 333 configuration as opposed to 343 that you'll find on a standard Qatar 777. So before this long flight, I really want to take a shower. So this is actually just a cubicle within the men's room. So compared to the many shower rooms you'll find in other airport lounges, privacy isn't that great, but they definitely compensate you with lots and lots of coat hooks. You'll find towels and shower products inside this cute little basket. The shower cubicle is really clean and well maintained. I just wish it was a separate room. So my dad's gonna finish his apple and then we're gonna head to the gate. Our gate to Sydney today is situated at the right end of this terminal. It's about a 5-minute walk from Lotus Lounge number 1. So there are 2 gates downstairs, gate 26 for Melbourne, gate 27 for Sydney. Before we go downstairs, there's a secondary security check. This happens at a few airports around the world before you board your plane to Australia. So no liquid allowed beyond this point. There's also no water fountain and the duty-free shop isn't allowed to sell water. Here's our ride to Australia, a 5-year-old Vietnam Airlines Airbus A350-900 Victor November Alpha 894. Thanks, we're together. Thank you. This A350 has Vietnam Airlines newer configuration. 29 business, 36 premium economy, 240 economy. Hello. Yeah, thank you. Here's the newer and proper premium economy in a 242 configuration. Down here is economy in a standard 333 configuration.
the window seat.
Thank you. Yeah. Our seat today is 33 Alpha. From Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh, it was also a A350, but it's got a different configuration. Economy class is slightly older, and the older premium economy is just economy with extra legroom. So this plane is so much nicer for everybody on board. And this one has got a coat hook, touchscreen TV, USB port and headphone jack. You can store literature items down there. Tray table, you can move it back and forth and fold it in half. A netted seat pocket with magazine, headphones and vomit bag. Legroom is really good. Even for 6'4", there's still some room left. Every economy seat has a soft adjustable headrest. You can move it up and down as well. Finally, between every 2 seats you'll find a universal socket. So there are 2 between every 3 seats.
18 hours and 35 minutes, that's a long flight to Sydney.
The crew said there are only 5 empty seats and we scored one of them.
Please remain in your seat. Reach up and firmly pull the mask down to activate the oxygen flow. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally by securing the elastic band around your head.
On behalf of Vietnam Airlines, a member of Sky Team Alliance, Captain Phạm Quốc Toản, Purser Nguyễn Kim Tuyết, and all crew members would like to welcome you on board our flight VN 773 from Ho Chi Minh City to Sydney. Our estimated flight time to Sydney International Airport is 7 hours and 50 minutes. Vietnam Airlines is proud to become one of the 20 best airlines in the world for safety and quality in 2023, voted by Airline Rating. Throughout the 30-year journey, Vietnam Airlines has received many awards for our endless efforts to reach further and bring our valued passengers the best flight experience. We look forward to receiving your trust and support. Thank you and wish you a pleasant flight. Cabin crew, check cabin and galley for takeoff. electronic cigarette, laptops, and other portable electronic devices may be used in flight mode and silent mode from now until we begin descent for landing. In a few minutes, supper will be served. Before landing, we will serve breakfast. Duty-free sale is also sold on board the aircraft. For further information, please refer to the brochure in the seat pocket in front of you. Should you require any additional information, please ask our cabin crew for assistance. Thank you.
Hello there, welcome on board Vietnam Airlines A350 economy class lavatory. I'm in the one between the two economy cabins. Relatively spacious and bright. You've got a cot hook and something that smells good. Leg room when you sit down, pretty decent. The in-flight service started soon after takeoff. It began with a hot towel, which is for me so unexpected and a very nice touch, and we also got given an Australian arrival card. About an hour after takeoff, the crew started serving dinner. I forgot to order a special meal, so today I'll have one of the regulars. When the cabin crew came to us, she gave us this paper which shows the illustration of your meal choices. So two options. Option number 1, Vietnamese stir-fried rice noodle with prawn, minced pork, bean sprout and celery. Option 2 is a Western option. Chicken cacciatore, potato, stir-fried French bean. For drinks, there's a full bar service, including wine, coffee, tea, soft drinks, juices, and spirits. I went for a gin and tonic. I went for the Asian option. It's a very nicely presented 3-course dinner, including starter and dessert. It also came with bread and butter. Vietnam Airlines, as a Skytrax 4-star airline, gives you metal cutlery. I'm really impressed. And look, it's really shiny as well. Furthermore, every meal comes with a toothpick and an antiseptic wipe. This dessert was really interesting. I liked it, but I don't know what it was. It's got corn, so it's some kind of corn pudding. I got still water and gin and tonic. Now let's give this bad boy a try. On top of the rice noodle, we've got minced pork and a whopping 7 individual prawns. For the Western meal, the dessert and starter are Western as well. An apple cake and a thick slice of ham coleslaw. The main dish is pretty good as well. The potatoes are really big. Overall, I was really impressed by Vietnam Airlines today. They nailed both the quantity and quality for the dinner. Mr. 6'4" really liked it. I'm also really pleased that they serve spirits on board. After a while, the cabin crew came around the cabin, one hand with a bottle of red, another hand with a bottle of white. There's already a tiny glass on your meal tray, you can use that. I'm gonna try out the white wine. It's surprisingly really good and refreshing. It pairs well with my relatively salty meal. And to wrap it up, the crew came back again for coffee and tea. It's a very nicely done and presented dinner service. Well done, Vietnam Airlines. It started to get bumpy now. Thankfully, when we were eating, it wasn't that bad. It came at the right time. The crew have already come back to collect meal trays, and now everybody gets a bottle of water for the night. Before I go to sleep, I'm going to show you the in-flight entertainment. So on Vietnam Airlines, your selection isn't that great, but it's good enough for a flight to Sydney. But if you fly with this airline every week on a long flight, you might get bored. Here's the in-flight map. Unfortunately, it's not interactive. He's a bit too tall to lie down across 3 seats, so only I have that privilege. 3 hours before we land into Sydney, the cabin crew switched on the cabin light. Everybody's going to use the bathroom at this time, and then they're going to serve breakfast. Supposedly there are 2 options for breakfast as well, a Western and a Vietnamese option. But for some reason, the crew gave us no choice and only gave us the Vietnamese option. I don't believe they ran out of the Western option, because I saw one of the crew signaling the other crew to stop offering it. I was a bit tad annoyed because I actually wanted the Western option, but luckily this was quite good. It's a Vietnamese stir-fried rice noodle again with prawn, fish, mixed mushroom and vegetables. For starter, we've got a croissant, plain yogurt and a bowl of fruit. And just like dinner, a very substantial meal. You've got metal cutlery, toothpick, antiseptic wipe. There's an empty cup in the meal tray. Later, they're going to come around to give you coffee and tea again. So both meals, very good. They were some of the best meals I've had on a plane. Before we started our descent into Sydney, they started to broadcast some videos about Australia. First the biosecurity video and this tourism video.
Đã tin tưởng và lựa chọn Vietnam Airlines. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying with Vietnam Airlines, a member of SkyTeam Alliance.
We started our descent into Sydney, so I'll quickly conclude this trip report with Vietnam Airlines right here, right now. Our journey today started at Hanoi Airport. From there I was able to check in and have my suitcase checked all the way to Sydney, Australia. When I arrived into Ho Chi Minh Domestic Terminal, it was just a short walk to the International Terminal and then headed straight into the security and immigration. There are two lounges at the International Terminal for Vietnam Airlines. I went to lounge number 1. I'll try out lounge number 2 next time when I have the chance. The lounge is pretty good, food is great, comfy chairs, but it's a bit tiny so it can get a bit crowded perhaps a bit later when there are some European flights, and I don't like how there's no proper shower rooms. My seat today is a standard economy class, 33A. The leg room is really good, better than the average international airline, and the highlight definitely was the in-flight catering. Everything, including the starter and dessert, were delicious. Even the wine they were serving was good. On this flight, I felt really bad for the cabin crew on my aisle. They were friendly when I stepped on board, but things changed shortly. The gentleman in front of me has 2 kids. They created so much mess throughout the flight, like napkins and pillows on the aisle. The man also kept opening the overlockers throughout the flight, but then he never closed it himself. And then unfortunately, or should I say karma, his TV did not work throughout the flight. The cabin crew offered him to sit next to us, but thankfully he declined, because fair enough he wanted to sit next to the children, but then he was so mean to the cabin crew as well. For one instance, they ate slower than other people, so the crew had to come back to collect their meal trays at a later time. After they had done eating breakfast, he literally stood on the aisle and shushed at the cabin crew. The crew came over, took away their trays, asked if they wanted anything else, and he literally said to them, just go away. It was so hard to bear with them, especially we were just sitting behind them. And eventually during descent he opened the bin like 5 times and never closed it. Every time the crew walked past, they gave him a side eye, rightly so. I could imagine if he was on a Western carrier, the crew would not tolerate his behaviour at all. So kudos for the cabin crew who have to put up with this bare feet bogan. So that's it for the conclusion today and that interesting story about that bogan. Now for your information, your airfare on this route usually starts from 830 Aussie dollars return. For those who are new to my channel, I'm so glad you made it to the end. I upload a new trip report like this one every single week, so be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button so you won't miss out again. You can also follow me on my social media. My username handles are showing us above. On Instagram, I post stories as I fly every time, and on Snapchat, I post stories as I travel at my destination. For those who want to make direct impacts into funding my flights, you can do so via PayPal or Patreon. You can also check out one of the affiliate links in the description down below. Every time you make a purchase, I'll make some small commission, which all helps to fund for my future travels. Thank you so much for your support, and thanks for watching this trip report and listening to my storytelling. Now please enjoy the approach and landing into Sydney. After disembarking, I'll show you a short Adelaide vlog. See you later, bye bye.
Chào mừng quý khách đến với sân bay quốc tế Sydney, thành phố Sydney. Bây giờ là 8 giờ 15 phút sáng với nhiệt độ bên ngoài là 10 độ C. Quý khách lưu ý ngồi yên tại chỗ, cài chặt dây an toàn cho đến khi máy bay dừng hẳn và đèn hiệu cài dây an toàn đã tắt. Cẩn thận khi mở ngăn hành lý. Kiểm tra kỹ tư trang và tuyệt đối không mở cửa máy bay khi không có yêu cầu của tiếp viên. Hành khách sử dụng dây an toàn cho em bé vui lòng để lại tại ghế ngồi hoặc gửi cho tiếp viên tại cửa máy bay. Thay mặt cho hãng hàng không quốc gia Việt Nam, thành viên Liên minh hàng không SkyTeam, cơ trưởng Phạm Quốc Toản, tiếp viên trưởng Nguyễn Kim Tuyết và phi hành đoàn xin kính chào tạm biệt và hy vọng sẽ được đón tiếp quý khách trên những chuyến bay tới. Xin cảm ơn. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sydney King Fahd International Airport. It's now a 8:15 a.m. The outside temperature is 10 degrees Celsius. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft completely stops and the fasten seatbelt sign has been turned off. Take care of your belongings and ensure the contents do not fall out when opening the overhead lockers. You are requested not to open the aircraft door unless instructed by the cabin crew. Please leave infant seatbelt at your seat or return to cabin crew. We hope you enjoyed your flight with us. On behalf of Vietnam Airlines, a member of SkyTeam Alliance, Captain Phạm Quốc Toản, Purser Nguyễn Kim Tuyết, and all crew members would like to say goodbye to you and wish you a blessed stay in Sydney. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.
Good morning. I literally wrote vlog on my arm last night so that I don't forget to vlog today. Quick outfit check. Hello. Today's going to be a rather long day, so it's now 10 to 7. I'm going to go to the Hilton Hotel to pick up my friend. He's from Dallas, Texas, works for American. We're going to go to have a coffee and then I'm going to drop him off at the airport. He's flying Malaysia Airlines to KL and then Singapore. And then I'm going to drive 4 hours to a place called Renmark to pick up my housemate from his work placement and then drive 4 hours back. So it's going to be a very long day. Now it's time to feed Lily before myself. It's going to be a fun drive. It doesn't rain that much in Adelaide, so it's going to be awkward driving long distance in this condition. Hello, we're at the petrol station. Gonna put some petrol in the car. We've got about 180k to go. I'm not sure what city or town we're in, but we're within the Barossa Council. Barossa, famous for their red wine globally. Petrol prices in Adelaide at the moment, let me give you an update. very expensive.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Can't wait to go back to Adelaide.
I'm so hungry, so we're heading for lunch. Haha. And he's gonna pay. Haha.
Chị này sẽ cho chị con mang họ bọc đông rồi.
Just made it back to Adelaide, and I really, really need to sleep, so good night. Hello there, it's day 2 since picking up my friend from Renmark. I'm going to go to bakery on O'Connell. It's a very famous bakery here in Adelaide, specifically North Adelaide. It opens 24/7, lots and lots of people go there. Yeah, I got my own takeaway tea from home. I'm going to get some dessert, I suppose, from the bakery. So we've got Kaylee and Lee joining us.
I'm rolling my eyes.